this is where curation is going to play a wonderful role in helping us separate art from junk. You go to the great museums here in New York City, and my finger paintings are not there. But there are works of art there that somebody decided should be there. So curation is big, and Seesmic Look is a form of curation. Brands can and should be digital curators in the niches that they care about. And I think the examples you just saw are that. So the fire hose is going to be a challenge for us. And you all know this from your own life. But the more social media adept you are, the more this is pronounced. This is a screenshot of somebody's inbox on one day. And you can see that I have 2,000 Gmails, 530 RSS items, 7,000 corporate emails. I think Loikas has like 10 times this. All these Facebook requests. I think this is a global problem.
Yeah.
There's an attention crash in the world.
Yeah.
Human attention is finite. And even for the average mom who gets, maybe 100 emails a day, 50 emails a day, 10 emails a day, there's still SMSs, there's still Facebook posts, there's still lots of information coming at us. But I think that, the more that you become engaged in these channels, the more you realize this is a problem. And there was the Mark Dizol Red Day. Did anybody here celebrate Mark Dizol Red Day? Or you may have heard of, I'm sure those of you who are journalists would love this, email bankruptcy. Which is where you take all your emails out of your inbox and you just delete them. And you figure if it's really important, somebody will contact you again. That's something that we're seeing some people do. So, and there's a hierarchy of digital distractions. This is hard to read. But all of us are going to have to make choices as content becomes much more of a stream. And we don't navigate from page to page to page anymore. Things just kind of come at us pouring. We're all going to have to decide what distractions we let into our lives and when. So at the top of the digital pyramid here, that this is at informationisbeautiful.net, is device failure. When your iPhone, your BlackBerry, your Palm, your computer fails, it gets your attention right away. At the bottom is any kind of actual work. And when there's actual work, we don't want to do it. So this pyramid's going to scale. This pyramid's going to scale, and we're going to have to make choices. And mobile makes it worse, not better. Mobile makes things much more compact. It's short attention span theater. I know what's on my phone right now. I got, 3 movies. I got my tweets. I got Facebook. I got my email. I got, 100 articles I want to read. Everyone is going to make choices, plus some really good games, too. We're going to have to make choices about what we consume. Mobile's just going to make this shorter, etc. This is where curation is a big deal. This is why I'm enthusiastic about Twitter lists and things like that. And Seesmic Look on the desktop brings curation to you in a very, very powerful way. And I think it is one of the number of different services that we will see emerge in the coming few years. So that's the challenge, is the fire hose. And the amount of information we have dealing with it, coming at us all at once. There's no solution. I mean, yes, there's curation and applications that will help us there, but the solution is really with us. Each of us is going to have to make choices about what we consume and when. Friends will trump everything else, other than things you have to do like for survival or for a living. But friends will trump everything else. And we're seeing this already in the data about how people are making choices. This number is not my age, but this is the average number of domains that an American visits in 1 month, according to Nielsen. So the average Joe or Jane visits 111 domains a month. In other countries around the world, it's even lower. It's under 100 domains. When you think about the number of web pages this amounts to, it's about 2,500 in the United States. Now that might sound like a large number, but it really isn't. If you think about how many emails you get of check out this link, or did you see this, or did you hear about this, and you visit a site that you normally never go to, the BBC.com, or you go to FinancialTimes.com, or you go to NewYorkTimes.com, and you're not a regular reader of that publication, that counts in this stream. If you go to Twitter 10 times a day, it also counts as part of this stream. So we're all making choices. I believe that people are becoming media agnostic. Now, if you're in the media business, I'm sorry. But they're becoming media agnostic. What does that mean? Well, we're making choices. And there might be, like for me, if I go a morning without reading the New York Times, I don't feel like I'm a human being.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is passed to me through the stream. Haiti, I hear about through the stream.
Mm-hmm.
The news finds me. I don't find the news. Unless I want to go down deep into a subject and I need to know more about that. This is a problem. And Seesmic Look and other applications, Twitter lists and so forth, help solve that by surfacing high-value information, high-value content. And I love that Kodak is curating. I love that they're not saying, we're not just showing you what is about us, but we're curating content around high-value information. So this is going to be a problem. Media agnosticism is going to be a problem, too. And it's becoming much more of a snack-like metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, long-form content, I think, books and things like that, people will go down deep when they're interested, but everything else is just going to be, snack all day long. And this is why I think Twitter and Facebook have taken off, because there's this snacking kind of culture that we live in now. And it is all real time. It's real time. When I was at the Web conference last month, Queen Rania summed it up best from Jordan when she said, real time is the new prime time.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean for brands? If you're not engaged in real time, you will not be heard. You will not be considered. You need to be on and be on all the time. And the brands that are on Twitter that we work with know that.
Mm-hmm.
They know they need to be on all the time, because real time is the new prime time. At the same time, though, our own data from the Element Trust Barometer, which comes out every year, the new data will be out in a couple of weeks, we have found that people need to hear things 3 to 5 times before they act. So in the age of streams, that's a challenge. A single tweet is not going to do it. A single media impression is not going to do it. An article in a high-value publication is not going to do it. You need to be in front of people 3 to 5 times, and increasingly from 3 to 5 different sources. People want to hear from regular employees, not just the brand. They don't want to necessarily hear just from executives. They want to hear from people who will listen to them, accept their feedback, and channel what they heard, as Kodak just talked about, as HP and RIM and Microsoft and lots of other brands are doing on Twitter and Facebook as 2 key venues. And so that's key. But at the same time, surfacing that information is going to be harder. And this is where curation plays a role. So in the age of streams, we're advising our clients that there are 3 strategies they need to think about. 3 strategies to think about. The first is you have to be ubiquitous. I don't have an easy way to address that. You have to figure out which communities your customers are spending time in, and then you need to be omnipresent in those communities with high-value information and resources. The way you do that is by building out digital embassies in all the communities that matter. Right now, there's arguably 3 to 4 communities that matter. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and I think for some, LinkedIn. Google is kind of connective tissue that runs across all those. In a year, it could be different. A year ago, we were talking about MySpace and Second Life being very prominent, or 2 years ago. So it changes. It changes. But the whole notion of having an embassy is relevant. You go to Washington, in this embassy row, and the ambassador there from the UK is thinking about what does the United States want from us, and what do we want from the United States, and we think about shared mutual gain, and our embassy is a starting point where we make that happen. Same model works in social spaces, and increasingly to some degree in media spaces, although there's church-state rules that we need to think about there. So building out digital embassies in Twitter is great, and seeing them surface through things like Seesmic Look is even better. And having an opportunity to take that presence and expand it and magnify it is a great opportunity that we think brands should be taking advantage of. Second thing is you need to have multiplicity and diversity of message. You can't take the same message and run it through every channel. The people on Facebook have a different MO than the people on Twitter and the people on YouTube. That might be the same person, but there's multiple modalities there. So you need to think about how the content that you create and the conversation that you participate, how you shape that depending on